So I have recently discovered something that I knew, like intellectually knew, but didn't fully embody and understand until literally yesterday. I am burnt the out big time. And that doesn't come just from working, it comes from changing my identities to fit in as a people pleaser for most of my life and always thinking about what someone's going to say or what somebody might think and how I can adapt to please them or make them happy. I literally chameleoned my way through life, changing myself to fit into social groups or a job that I wanted or just wherever I was. I've never really known myself. And I think that's part of the reason I've started this journey of just documenting this midlife rediscovery of who I authentically am, because I don't know if I've ever really known that. And even when I've had the feeling of, something being right or being excited for something, I've quickly shut it down if it didn't match what the other person was needing or excited for in the moment. But, anyways, I am just so tired. Uh, it's wild to me that everything I knew internally that I needed or that was going on with me is actually true. I mean, yes, it's affirmed by doctors on TikTok and neurology and all these things, but my nervous system needs to rest. It has been hyperactive since I was very young. And I've been in this state where I just feel so tired, low energy, drained, depressed, just kind of miserable really in life. And the things that used to bring me joy didn't really bring me joy. And even when I felt joy before, I don't know if it was genuine because I was either drunk or high. That is one of the reasons I stayed addicted for so long, because it got me through everything from doing the laundry to social engagements with friends. I leaned in on it as my way of getting through the day or doing anything really. And now without it, I really notice how small my capacity is for anything. I have a friend slash family member who limits herself to one social engagement per month, and I aspire to that because I overcommit. I typically say yes. I find myself still trapped in the people-pleasing tendencies because, of course, you learn at a very young age not to disappoint people, and that if you make other people happy, then you are good enough, you are liked, you are loved, you are worthy. These are ingrained into our belief systems, and so you build that mask up for 40 years. It does not come off instantly. It's still in there. And so just putting two and two together really makes sense to me why I feel so exhausted. And it has been exhaustion for years. And I sleep a lot. I'm grateful I sleep well, but I feel like I could just sleep all day. And even when it comes to work, like this grinding culture of work 8, 10, 12, 16 hours a day, build this career, make a lot of money, get this house. Like, this is just ass backwards from what we actually need as human beings, which is nervous system regulation, safe spaces, slowness, calmness, stillness. At least for me, these are the things I need. And this world and the life that I was trying to live to fit into this world does not match what I actually need as Morgan. My work, I can't do that. I just can't do that. I'm at an age where my body is literally saying no. And even if it was saying no before, I shut that down real fast, or I covered it up, or I smoked a joint or whatever it was to ignore it. And I'm just in a place where I can't ignore and avoid what my body is telling me anymore. And so it's okay that I go slow. It's okay that I do less in a day than I used to, because that is more in line with the life I want to build for myself, which does not include burning myself out for other people's needs and other people's profits and other people's desires and wants and goals. And I guess simultaneously, because I'm in my mid-40s, it's also being really highlighted because I want to build my own dreams and reach my own goals and do what I want to do with the latter half of my life. And I just know that if I keep going in this like grinding culture, I won't be happy and satisfied when I get to the end of my life. So there's a lot that I want to accomplish, and I'm in this shift of, okay, how do I get there and also pay the bills? So, we've built this world, this society where we have to make money to pay bills, to put a roof over our heads, to put food on the table. And for a long time, I've been drawn to this idea of just running away to the middle of the woods and living off the land. And that brings me peace, that idea. And now I know I'm not crazy, because without stimulations, and this is what was in the video yesterday that I saw, without the stimulants, the psychosocial stimulants, the anything in the room stimulants, whether that's a person or a pet or a phone or a text message or an email, I am constantly being stimulated, as we all are in this world. That also made sense to me why I cannot multitask. It just feels impossible. I need to be present with one task at a time for me to actually do a good job. And that's how I want to live my life, one task at a time. If I'm walking the dog, I'm walking the dog. I'm not walking the dog and on my phone and trying to craft like a strategy for a client. I am just walking the dog. But we try to do it all. There's so many people multitasking like this, and I used to be one of them that just piles the list on of 10 things at once. Like if you're making dinner, you're on the phone with somebody, or you're also doing something else. And I mean, that's relatively reasonable. It's relatively easy if you know what you're doing in the kitchen, unlike myself, to make dinner and have a phone conversation. But just we're always doing it on the time, like all the time, in our cars, while we're driving. Like I see everybody out on walks with headphones on, and I'm like, what happened to listening to the birds or just hearing what's around you? I just be on the walk. Anyways, I digress. But I'm just really kind of thrilled that I have come to this deeper understanding of what I already intellectually knew, in that I am hella burnt out to like the nth degree. It is affecting my mood. It is affecting my energy in a big, big, big way. I'm not in a place where I could take a sabbatical. I would love that. But I think carving out more me time, more alone time, more time without my phone, more time just where my nervous system can really, really just come down from all of it, and rest. That, I think, is the space I've been craving. That is the space I now know I need. And that is the space that will allow me to heal. Even though I quit drinking and I quit substances years ago, I've still been in this grind culture, appease and please. And even in my close relationships, I've really noticed how I'm not showing up necessarily authentically when I abandon myself to do something that I actually don't have capacity to do. It's okay to say no to social engagements. It's okay to not have to say yes all the time. And while saying yes is fun and it's good, and there's always a balance to everything, because of course if you hermit and you isolate, that's not good either. So just make sure, and this is a note to myself, that you are saying yes within your capacity to do so, and because you want to. There was so many times when I was on my own before I moved to the States, and before I met Michael, that I would make it my job to check on friends that I haven't even spoken to in like 20, 30 years, that may be going through some life crisis, or whatever it would be. But I mean, I was on the phone with them all the time, checking in on them and getting super, super high in the process. I was so tired. I still didn't carve out time for myself. So fast forward 4 or 5 years later, it's finally clicking that I actually need to carve out time for myself, not feel bad about it, and take care of my own needs, because no one else is going to take care of my own needs. They can honor and respect my needs and do all they can. Certainly people can support our needs, but it's up to us to make that happen. So learning, I've taken off a lot of masks that I've worn. I still have more and to go. It's of course a lifelong process, this homecoming to yourself. But learning that it's okay if I say to my husband that I need an hour by myself, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm really just going to go barefoot and lay in the grass and do nothing. That sounds heavenly to me, and other people would probably be very confused at why that is so wonderful, but they don't need to understand. I now know that that is what I need, and that's going to be my goal for the foreseeable future. And I think it took house sitting where we are right now to really highlight this, because on top of my crazy keeping up with clients and workday already, and just trying to, feed ourselves and feed a dog, and which I'm really not good at the feeding myself, because I still have the habit of rolling out of bed into the computer and not eating till 2 p.m. And then when I'm that starving, I just reach for crap, and that is part of the reason of how I got here to my physical health today. But where we are now, there's trying to keep up with all of that regular stuff, plus puppy training, plus being in a house with an ant and a rat problem, plus there was a flood last Friday and a leak that I had to help clean up because nobody else is here, plus there's the bearded dragon, and see, now the dogs are going crazy. I don't even know why. I have no idea, but there's 1,000 other things on top of my regular schedule right now that are really showing me that I just can't do it. It's just too much. And so maybe that's the lesson here, that I need to slow down even more. I need to take more time for myself, alone time, and just not feel bad. So if this helps anybody, great. Again, just thank you for listening to my rants and my explorations of self as I rediscover who I am, what I need, and I honor that. So thank you.